Welcome to the integration and diffusion of educational technology. I'm your host, Charmaine Sharrison.
This presentation on cloud computing innovation is presented by Charmaine Sharrison of Walden University in partial completion of EDUC 8841, the diffusion and integration of technology with Dr. Sherry Toledo. We have the opportunity to embrace a technology that will have a tremendously positive impact for our faculty, staff, and students in a way that will transform the way we manage our data and the flow of information. Introducing the cloud. Computing in the cloud is about harnessing the power of the internet because everywhere is here to get to the data. When our students integrate into the workforce, electronic medical records will be the standard. Understanding that everywhere is here, the data is always with you, is key to thinking of new solutions to patient care. Here is where the story of bringing cloud computing to our campus starts. Before any innovation can become popular, there are 4 stages that comprise the development of the innovation: the need, the research, the development, and the commercialization. The initial need is the storage space for data, with the option to allow and restrict access to the information and provide recovery in case of disaster from user error or technology fail. Cloud computing developed into 5 main facets of consideration. For most end users, the software as a service is the typical segment of interest, as the cloud offers the ability to emulate operating systems or just provide online access to applications. Other hardware considerations involve the decreased need for a dedicated data center, and the applications are platform independent, meaning they will work on both a desktop and mobile device. Looking at areas for growth in cloud computing, revenue is expected to be dominated by business applications, applications that can be used for educational needs and then translated into skills our students will take with them onto their jobs. While everyday consumers will rely on the free storage options offered by Box.net or Dropbox, or use existing wikis, blogs, and Google Documents for their cloud computing needs. If you've worked or collaborated with other users on a document but never actually saved it to your hard drive, you've been working in the cloud. Have you used any of these online collaborative services? If so, which one was the easiest to use? A blog, a Google Doc, SharePoint, a wiki, or none of the above? Over the course of the next 3 to 6 months, we will have the opportunity to gain knowledge and be persuaded by vendors to make our decision on adopting the cloud computing innovation. By fall of this year, we will be ready to implement cloud computing with a progressive rollout that should be completed by early next year. Here are the basics of what the stages involved and the communication channels we will use to reach other users. The father of cloud computing, John McCarthy, in 1961 predicted that computing would be like a utility, like the power or water grid. This idea forms the basics of understanding the benefits of letting someone else manage the hardware. In the same way we allow the electric and water companies to manage our supply of electricity and water to our homes, having to manage our own computing storage and memory is an antiquated notion still prevalent. But consider how many people use storage facilities that are guarded instead of cluttering up their own homes with items that are seasonally, if ever, used. The decision to move to a cloud computing platform will be made by the leaders of industry as they realize the potential for expansion and access to resources that will be necessary in the future. The following is an excerpt from the Director of Cloud Services at Intel Corporation, one of the leaders in the computer chip manufacturing industry. We have to realize if computers will be designed with accessing the cloud in mind, why are we still chipping away at stone walls? Cloud computing will invade academia as a byproduct of necessity and cost savings. The flavor and features of the implementation of the cloud computing model will vary by the brand of services. Microsoft Office 365, Google offers all of Google Apps with a marketplace for education, or a hybrid cloud that provides access to cloud within the school or a public cloud appropriate for interested employers and potential students. The following is a list of free cloud computing providers that offer storage options for end users. The history of cloud computing has its roots in the early days of the Internet and ARPANET, but the adoption of true cloud computing services has grown steadily since the millennium. In 1999, Salesforce offered applications in the Internet for global companies. In other words, the same application, customizable for each company, available on the Internet. The Salesforce innovation was followed by Amazon's Mechanical Turk in 2002 for online computing power along with data storage. By 2006, many smaller companies were leasing space from Amazon Cloud Services or Rackspace to support their IT departments without having to house the overhead themselves. In 2009, Google Apps and other online storage and collaboration services took off, unleashing the cloud, already being used by medical and banking industries, to the everyday consumer with browser-based productivity applications. By 2011, the idea of cloud storage had come to stay, with the introduction of Apple's iCloud, Microsoft Office 365, and Amazon's customer digital purchase cloud drive, and the continued growth of virtual storage companies like Dropbox.com and Box.net for personal consumer storage. Predictions indicate that by 2015, there will be more devices connected to each other through the power of the Internet and accessing the cloud to retrieve data relevant to our daily lives. The cloud will become a basic utility.